thought of cooking an elegant dinner for your special someone or a group of friends intimidates you, relax. Some of the finest restaurant meals are cooked in a flash, in a pan, with no stress. And that's just what I'm doing today. Join me right here at the stovetop and watch while I make my pork tenderloin medallions with Dijon mustard sauce. Let's get started. Because my pork tenderloins cook so quickly, I must make my side dish first, and I'm making couscous today. It always shocks me at the number of people who say they don't make couscous because they think it's hard to make. Nothing could be further from the truth. It is so much easier than rice, noodles, or potatoes. Couscous is a staple in restaurant kitchens and in my pantry too. I've brought 2 cups of water to a rolling boil with 4 tablespoons of butter today. We've got it all, just turned it on right now, it's all rolling. I'm going to add 1 10-ounce box of couscous, which is a mini pasta, and I'm just going to slowly sprinkle it in. Turn my heat down while I'm sprinkling. Wait till you see how easy this is. I'm going to give this a quick stir. Now I put a lid on it and I take it off the heat and I let it rest for 10 minutes while I'm making my pork tenderloins. I've melted 4 tablespoons of butter into 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a really big skillet, and I've cut 2 1-pound pork tenderloins into medallions, about a ½ an inch thick. Now, working as quickly as I can, I'm just going to place these in the pan. And you don't want to waste time here because these are going to cook up really fast. They don't call it flash in a pan for nothing. Just keep adding them. You'll find that you get almost exactly 24 pieces, 12 from each pork tenderloin, and everybody will have 4 or 5 on their plate. Okay, my medallions are in the pan, and I even add some of the little pieces from when I trimmed them. You get the ends that are just kind of small. I put them in too because they're just going to make the sauce taste better. Now I'm going to let these fry on medium-high heat. Saute them really fast for about 2 minutes per side. These have been in 2 minutes, and just the way I planned it, they are lightly browned, and I'm going to, using a nice long-handled fork and a spatula to help me do it quickly. Again, I am not going to take my time with this. I'm going to go as quickly as I can, and I'm going to flip these over, and then I'm going to let them cook for 2 more minutes on the second side. I've removed my medallions to a plate, and I'm just going to set them at the back of the stove. They'll keep warm, and my pan is still sizzling hot, and I'm going to add ½ a cup of chicken stock, just enough to kind of give it a little bit of the deglaze in here. Turn up my heat to high. That gets what's called the fond, or the nice little brown bits off the bottom, which is going to add a whole lot of flavor to the Dijon-Cream stock. That's looking great. Now over high heat, I'm going to add about a cup and a half of yellow onions. You can use shallots, that's what a French chef would do, but I just didn't have any this week. And I'm going to add about the same amount of mushrooms, cup and a half. If you don't like mushrooms, you can leave them out. And I'm just going to, over high heat, let these saute for about 3 minutes until the onions are really soft and translucent and there won't be any liquid left in the bottom of this pan. It's been about 3.5 minutes. My onions are soft and translucent. My mushrooms have lost all of their moisture. The bottom of the pan is sizzling. And now I'm going to add 1 cup of chicken stock. Nice amount of steam there. And then I'm going to turn down my heat a little, and I'm going to add 2 cups of cream. And for a briny, salty tang, 1/4 cup each of Dijon mustard and capers. And if you notice, I didn't salt my pork tenderloins, pork medallions, and that's the reason why. The salt is in the mustard and the capers. Now I'm just going to give this a quick stir, get this to a gentle simmer, and let it cook until the cream is thickened, and that'll take about 5 or 6 minutes. My sauce has been simmering for about 6 minutes, and I'm just going to give it a stir. And the way I test to make sure that it's got the right consistency is I flip my spoon over. And if I can draw a line with my finger, which I can, my sauce is perfect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my heat off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding. And my medallions are still warm. I'm going to add them right to the top of the sauce. I'm not going to mix or stir these. I'm just going to let them lay right on the top of the sauce. Oh, the smell's wonderful. Almost done. Put my little pieces in the center. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover this pan and let them sit on the hot stove for about 1 or 2 minutes just to heat the medallions through. My couscous has been off the heat for about 6 or 7 minutes. I'm just going to take the lid off. Look at this. You can see how it absorbed all the water. Now I'm just going to rake through it with a fork. And this is totally ready to eat. How easy was that? And you thought you couldn't cook like a chef. The most difficult thing about making this 5-star feast? Choosing the wine. For these and all of my recipes, just go to my website.